Hello guys, what's up, this is Scher talking, welcome back to my channel. Today video will be doing two reviews in one for Polka's banner, another one for Lynn's banner in the Final Fantasy Legends celebration. For those that do not know, we have two new banners in this special event, and we have 4 characters from Final Fantasy Legend and 2 characters from the story mode of Romancing Saga Universe. The first one we'll be giving a look is the one with Polka, and this banner is actually, well, strange. The thing is, the best character is here. This is human female. But then Polka and Sensei are maybe not as interesting as the other characters from the second banner. But still, human female is the best character of the bunch. To understand that, we have to go here for styles, starting with Polka. Polka is an AoE specialist. He has this AoE attack called Hit Wind. Hit Wind is a cheap AoE attack that goes for heat damage. Well, this is the same thing you'll find on Miriam, Volcano, and also with the first attack from Barthélemy. It's kinda good, but you still have some other skills that can reduce the cost for 3 BP, so you can always use. Hit Wind does not have that, so sometimes you will not have enough BP. But Polka is more about cyclings of 6, 6, and 4, so he has the second attack called Searing Mirage Blade that goes for an opener. He used that again on the second turn, and then on the last turn he uses Hit Wind. But on 4th turn he does not have BP. But what is Searing Mirage Blade? This is an attack. Remember, this is all spells. This is a mage character. Searing Mirage Blade has 6 BP cost, and it has D power with 6 BP, okay? All foes hit plus slash. So this is just like the Mirage Blade original attack, but with the added heat effect and a lower cost. The original Mirage Blade was 10 BP, it was too much for very low damage output, but then they decreased this for this version and added the heat damage. But guys, we now have Mirage Blade Plus inside the game that it's B power, way stronger. So if you want slash, you have many characters, even the free version of Annie that can be farmed in storyline that can use Mirage Blade Plus and deal better slash damage. Although there is a problem here, because Mirage Blade Plus still uses 8 when fully awakened, and you can only use that attack 2 times in a 3-turn cycle, while Polka can do 3 attacks in a 3-turn cycle, but lock it to hit, since Hit Wind is only hit, slash only goes for the first and second skills. Well, I don't think that it is that powerful. Polka doesn't have that strong passives as well to carry up these attacks. So, this is more for standard farming. If you have fast attackers, they are way better. You can determine when they go first or not. Although Polka has very high agility, we'll be talking about his agility in a few. And then the last attack is Burning Swoop, and this attack here is both heat and slash again. Don't know why it's slash, maybe because it has wind animation. And it's not a bad attack, but it can only be used on turn 2. And again, he doesn't have fast, so you have to, well, rely on your formation. Like if you are using Animal Stream, you have to place him on the front, or if you are using him in Rainbow Rangers, you have to determine the speed of your other character, sometimes even changing the agility. It's not a bad attack, it's very powerful, but 15 BP cost, kinda too much. We have some spells already in the game that have B power and they can be used on turn 1, but that's not the case with this version of Polka. Sadly strange, because Liz has a better AoE cycling than Polka. Yet again, at least the first version of Polka is still available. He's still very strong as a single target nuker, and this one just adds AoE skills. They work super different from each other. You don't need one to make the other one work well. This one using scatter explosions makes no much difference. It's just that this one has higher agility. The damage output is pretty similar. So what do we have with passes with this Polka? Let's see here. On the first one, he nullifies all types of heat damage and counter attacks directly with the fire spell when he is direct attacked. So direct attacks against him, he will counter with fire. And also nullify any type of heat damage. Second passive gives him intelligence and endurance. It makes sense if you are trying to negate hit damage by using him on the front of maybe Tiger Shark formation or something. But then he doesn't have such a good endurance anyway, even with this possible way to increase it's still kinda hard to use him as an off-tank unless your boss has only fire spells, and that is very likely to happen. No boss so far had only one type of attack, he has many. Even if Polka counters with heat, you still won't have that much damage, it's comparable to a normal attack. But it's a plus, it gives him intelligence as well, so increases his damage output, but the problem is just 25% chance to trigger this. Then we have fired up 20% increase in damage at all times, so only 20% increase in damage, and a passive that can give him intelligence 25% chance. The buff should be 20%. So we'll have a character that, well, cannot compare to some styles that we got after Gradius banner. Some styles have 35% increased damage, some have 40, some can even reach 45, and Polka does not have that much. And his intelligence is not that high because he's an AoE caster, and sometimes they decrease a little when they are AoE specialists, but we have to check his status right now. So now we are on rsrs.com and we can check all 3 different SS styles of Polka. This one here was a tank style, you should not care about this one, we only care about the second and third. Well, it's interesting that they now have the same intelligence, as you can see here. And this version of Polka, the AoE specialist, has a way higher agility, 80, and then we have a way higher endurance as well. If you compare the status, look, he wins in everything, save for, well, Dex, because he does not use Dexterity anyway. Everything else he wins, save for Charisma, but, well, he does not need that anymore. So, becoming an AoE specialist means that he's better for farming than for boss fights. He's not that well by using scatter explosions, he deals maybe a little less damage, but very similar anyway. And he doesn't have self-sustain or anything else that will make him much better than the first Polka. Only agility, maybe if you want to evade, if you need more agility than the first Mage Polka. Well, the skill that I'm saying that is this one here, very powerful, still up to this day, Scatter Explosion that can hit between 3 to 5 times. It's an amazing attack, still use it as a nuke in many strategies, even now on the current event. And this is the version that increases his agility further, with 2 arrows for agility, 1 for intelligence. For farm intelligence, either this one or the other one should be good enough. And now we return to the scene, and something that I didn't say is that you can cycle between Burning Swoop and turn 2, and then Heat Wind on turn 3, if you are thinking about 3 turn cycles in AoE farming. But at least he has very high agility, it's very likely that he will attack first. You can use Sigmoid formations if you want as well. But is this version of Polka strong enough after we saw that he only has 1 damage passive and another buff passive that relies on chance? It does not hold up to future styles. Well, this version of Polka is not the best one. We will get 2 other versions of him, and also the inheritances from this version makes no much difference when comparing to future versions of Polka. So if you get him right now, he will offer more versatility for new players because they may lack AoE, especially AoE with double damage. But looking on perspective, we can replace his skills with other styles if you are a veteran, and kinda skip Polka altogether. And because he is replaceable by his future styles, maybe Sensei is more interesting for you to pity after pitying Human Female, the star of this banner that we'll be talking exactly right now. Human Female has many different builds, and she is used even now on JP. They can still use her as a very strong martial artist that can just build up more BP and more BP to fight against multiple enemies, also just one enemy. There are many ways to use Human Female in the game. Well, the first attack is called Flying Knee Kick, and this is a sheep attack that uses only 1 BP, but also 0 if you max awaken. So it's just like replacing your normal attack with an attack that's better. It's deep power, okay, but you just don't use any BP. You can stack to use other attacks. Very nice thing. And also another thing that makes Human Female so good is that she uses agility position on Rainbow Rangers, where we still lack many options. We do have Red, we do have Eliza, but not many other styles besides those. Then we have to talk about the second skill called Mech Drift. This attack here is an AoE, very powerful attack, as you can see here by clicking. It has B power, B. It's hard to find attacks that have 8 power and can be used on turn 1 unless your character has power charge. In this scenario you have a little less damage, but you can use this attack 2 times in a 3-turn cycle. So the damage output is not even comparable to what we saw with Polka, with low BP sheep attacks. She has a higher cost, but she can be very useful if you use someone to kill the first wave, let's say. You have a fast attacker that clears the first wave like Mac or someone else like Silver, and then she would just attack with Mac Drift 2 times on turn 2 and on turn 3. And because she's on the agility position, she will always use this, so you can program her to use AoE easily. And if you don't want her to use AoE, you can also replace that to use something different. So that's why it's so good to have AoE attacker or even single target attackers with nuke possibilities on agility position for Rainbow Rangers. Human Female brings that into perspective. B power is very similar to what you can get with Emilia, but Emilia can only use her B attack once, and then on turn 2 and 3 she will use a cheaper version that it's only D, if I remember correctly. So in these scenarios, Human Female can work so well with Emilia or just work by herself. Or you can use her together with Red as well in some scenarios where we have Rainbow Rangers. The two will shine a lot. Very good companion. Then what we have is the third skill, call it Ace in the Glass. Very nice attack, as you can see, very cool animation. This attack here has a very high cost, it cannot be used on turn 1, she doesn't have any power charge, so it's 12 BP when you fully awaken, triple S damage, very powerful. We have another skill that you can inherit from her S style that can replace Ace in the Glass, that is Stomp, that can be upgraded to Stomp Plus. We'll be checking this in a few. And that can be used on turn 1 for just single target nuke. But Ace in the Glass has Slash, and if you are using her in a Rainbow Rangers formation, you can get slash damage out of agility. That is something that you can also do with Boston, but Boston doesn't have this. The status doesn't have the passive that Human Female has, and also she can use this skill in some scenarios where she can fire this up many times in a row. Well, I'll explain this later, but it's one of the strongest triple S attacks we have, and also by having double element it's very powerful, but just cannot use it on turn 1. Okay, so this is the 3 skills of Human Female, and I'll be talking about her other skills before I go for passives. And here we are, we have this SS style and the S style. As you can see, the status, she has 100% agility, that's kinda like Red. Red has 99, I think, and 88 for STR. 88 is lower than agility, but still better to have more agility than STR, since agility also affects evasion. Using her together with Red and rapid string formation will give you a lot of value. She does have low intelligence, will, because she does not need intelligence. She couldn't use will, her endurance is pretty bad. Some other martial artists may have a little more, but well, she can sustain, her charisma is high, so she can heal better. But well, the will is the worst thing here. Yes, if she takes magical damage, she will suffer a little. But then she can be used for evasion strategies just fine because of such a high agility. And then we can check her S style, and her S style has, you see, 3 different skills. The first one is Cat's Claw, and it's interesting because Cat's Claw, guys, to understand Cat's Claw, you have to go back to her other information, that is this one here, her passives. Her first passive means that when she is directly attacked, she will evade the attack with a medium chance. So let me check the hates. Okay, it's 25% chance of triggering this skill, and she will counter with Cat's Claw. Yes, Cat's Claw, it's a 3 BP attack, but when you use it on counter, well, it won't use a BP anyway, and she recovers 3 BP. 25% chance of countering, evading, and recovering 3 BP. That's a lot of things, and it's a slash attack. Interesting because it does not have blunt. Depending on the enemy, it may not make much sense. But Cat's Claw is very good to be used in this scenario, and also if you have her S style, you can use that as a inheritance. It's kind of very similar to what you have with Flying Kick, but this one is blunt, while Cat Claw is just slash. Well, this one uses 3 to get 3, so it's free, and the other one uses nothing, so, well, comparable. Then we have Suplex, and we don't talk about Suplex because it's useless in her case. But then we have Stomp that, like I said, can be upgraded to Stomp Plus. By clicking here you can see it becomes a triple S attack with only 9 BP coast, and that is amazing. As you can see here, it's triple S. So that she can open the fights with Stomp Plus, and then after opening with Stomp Plus, let's go back here. You can run her on out and get Stomp Plus on 9 as well. So she overrides Mac Drift, and that means that every 3 turns she uses Stomp Plus, and then 2 times Flying Knee Kick. It's a very good cycle for AoE, and also if you are playing some full auto setups for romancing stages with debuffers like Princess White Rose and Beauty. She's one of the best damage dealers because she keeps evading even more and can slowly build up to use a nuke. One of the best ones for auto setups and also for future when she can evade, counter, get BP to keep using Ace in the Glass or Mac Drift for multiple targets. UniverSe is the best of the bunch because she offers something a little more unique than the competition, also being used in a slot that's barely used. Martial artists are needed, and we have a double S weapon right now in the event to make them even stronger. If you have Red works similar. Well, he also can be used in auto setups where he gets more agility with his first skill, but UniverSe can even do more nukes. He does not just stick to that cheap attack, she can just use Stomp Plus, and they work together as well, so yeah, the best of the bunch. If you want to pity someone, just pity UniverSe. She have the longest longevity of them all. Then we go for Sensei, and Sensei is, well, I don't know, I have some good things about him, but also he's limited, very limited. The first skill is Acid Strike, and this attack here is both blunt and hit, but it's a cheap attack, barely helps with damage, and you don't want to use this on farming or on boss fights unless you don't have anything else to do. And then we have the second skill called Meltdown. This one is an AoE attack. It uses 6 BP, so the same cost as Polka, but a higher damage. Yes, because it's only hit, doesn't have slash. C is better, and also because he is used in an agility position. Usually you can use him on Rainbow Rangers and combo him with Barthélemy, the same thing that we used with Golden Ball. But Golden Ball had a very costly AoE attack with 9 BP. Right now with Meltdown you can use this on turn 2 and 3 if you want. And Barthélemy can open with Ebon Hands, or you can use it together with Joe as well. Joe is a better AoE turn 1 attacker. She gets a new style in the future that can also do cheap attacks, so maybe you can finish with Joe on turn 1, and then on turn 2 you have Sensei together with the future AoE cheap attack from Joe, and they together can kill waves. This is a way to explain because this may work, but I'm not considering other characters that you may have to use. Not every stage can be cleared with just 2, but at least you can see that they combo well together. Also, Joe increases hit damage. Meltdown is good, better than the Cyclones of Polka since the damage is higher. And then we have Meat Eater. This is, well, let's see, very funny. He becomes a monster because that's what happens in the original games. Meat Eater is a double S nuke attack, but only double S right now. We're still living this era where our attacks are between 8 BP for nukes, or 10 for very strong nukes. This one is in the middle term. It's like, you know, Liz, they have that Dragon's attack where you could use it 2 times in a 3-turn cycle. It's good to use this with Sensei, and kind of remembers me of Feion, because Feion also has a nuke with 8 PP. Because if you have a fast attacker on turn 1, it means that you will have this attack fired up twice in a 3-turn cycle, so turn 2 and turn 3. But depends on killing the first wave with someone else, or using this on turn 1 and on turn 3, you have to skip a turn. Well, the damage is good, but it's more just for some stages where you have a high enemy with a lot of HP and you can clear the remaining enemies with others, or you just have one single enemy. But it's not that strong because Sensei himself does not have all that much status, although he does have a very unique passive that we'll be looking now. And this one is Sensei's powers. When all allies are still surviving, meaning that he depends on everyone in your squad being alive, his own damage increases by medium effect is 10%, and he also reduces the damage taken for himself, and if I remember correctly, that's 20% decrease in damage. 10% increase, 20% decrease in incoming damage. Then we have proper posture. This one is interesting because he recovers around 120% HP or something like that, and removes all debuffs affected on him. Well, not many bosses that buff all the time like crazy to have to clear every turn, but at least if he's your damage dealer, I don't know why he's your damage dealer, he'll be cleansing this. I prefer something like Detox or other characters like Robots, because it removes paralyze, poison, and other things that are worse than just status debuff. Status debuff just cleans themselves within time. Also, paralyze cleans himself but stops your character from acting. That's different from just status debuffs, you see. Then we have Fired Up 5, and Fired Up 5 is 20% increase in damage at all times. We already saw that. It's not much damage increase if you think, but he can at least reach 30. In this banner, not many characters can reach too much, so it's interesting that at least Sensei can get to 30% increase in damage. Okay, so now we will go to rs.com and we can check for his status. As you can see, he has 99 agility now, very high, the same as Red, and 90% STR, even higher than Human Female. Two status of his are very high, but the other ones are very, very average. I think they tried to make Polka a good character with status, but then his cycling does not help. Sensei, it's only focused on two things, and he may even offer a little more in long term, since that Polka is replaced by other Polka, while Sensei has this last style right now in Japan. And yeah, we can also get something else with his inheritances, but they are not that interesting in my opinion. We got a free SS Sensei in the past, and what we have with him is a heal. Well, the good thing about this healing is that it's not a spell, it's based on the weapon power, so if you have a double S weapon upgraded, the heal is even better. It is considered a cold skill, but makes no sense, it doesn't change anything. And he does have some other hit skills that can be used, like this one here, recovers his own HP, but a very high cost. And a 5 VP cycle for 3 turns action of single target, not that good. He does get submission if you want it by any chance, by his S style that you get in this event as well. But then Sensei here is only interesting in my opinion because Polka ends up not being the best style of him. So if you're someone on this banner, focus on Human Female, and if you are a long time player and you want to keep playing the game, maybe Sensei is a better PD after Human Female. But if you get Human Female right from the start, I suggest you stop. Why? Because she's just so good and she's the only one here that will stay relevant for a long run. While Sensei and Polka may be useful right now, Sensei keeps being a little more interesting for some different setups, and Polka is easily replaced by himself. And he can also be replaced right now if you don't have him and won't get him for Miriam and Volcano characters that are free to get and free to use. So that's my opinion on this banner. We will have a second part video talking about the least banner, but I prefer to have a small video so people can check it out and see if they want to summon. I suggest you, if you want to get better value, I mean, if you are a veteran, you will have to summon here first, because Human Female is a very good character. But if you are a newcomer, this banner here may offer a little more on the overall design, because you can get Liz, Sparrow Girl, and Human Male, and the three characters are useful. They have very similar results altogether, but they cannot match Human Female, and Human Female is the best against Polka and Sensei. That's it guys, have you summoned for this banner. I hope you enjoyed the video, and good luck with your pulls. If you haven't pulled it yet, you can help this channel by clicking the links on the description of the video. Don't forget to subscribe and join Discord server as well. We see each other on the next video. Bye.